Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the diDNA Dialogue, where we'll be sharing something about the digital advertising industry that's going to impact you, the publisher. My name's Josh, and today we have aya.uryu with Nordot. She's currently the COO over there, and to kick us off, Aya, could you share a little more about yourself?
Okay, thank you, Josh. Hi, everybody. So good to be here. I'm aya.uryu from Nordot. I am the Chief Operating Officer. Mainly, I'm overseeing the U.S. operations out of New York City. I'm with the company about 4 years now. I started off in Japan for a year, and I moved back to New York City, where I was already living in. Prior to that, I was with a television broadcast for about a decade. So very, very different traditional media space. I was sort of doing, advertising sales and business development, a very, very different, environment. So that's my background. And if you want me to go talk about Nordot, I will do so.
Yeah, I think so. Before jumping into Nordot, I'd love to hear a little more about the television background, because I think that's so interesting, because I think while we're talking about ads and advertising industry as a whole, television, OTT, CTV is such a big topic right now versus display and video. So I'd love to hear maybe the background there and how you transitioned over.
Right. So it was a Japanese television broadcast, and it wasn't anything to do with OTT. It was just straightforward. I don't even remember the term. What is it? UHF? Sorry, over the air. Over the air.
Yeah.
Probably sounds foreign to you.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it's nothing to do with digital. It was truly over the air, and commercial spots, right? Like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and selling it with including in the sponsorship package or events type of thing. Very, very, now I think about it, I cannot believe that was only when I left, it was 2016. So very traditional way of, selling advertising. But what's interesting is today is that, all the privacy laws and protection, data protection, the advertising going towards contextual. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, TV advertising is very contextual, right? I would sell this show, which is about women in leadership. I would sell that to that type of context appropriate advertisers, right?
Right.
So sort of coming closer, the sort of way advertising should be of the television, and then what's happening today. So I find that sort of interesting and fascinating.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think so that perspective actually is a great segue into Nordot. And I think working with you guys has been a lot of fun, because I think what you guys have created is kind of supporting the publisher. Right. So yes. I'd love to hear just a little bit about the Nordot side of things, how that's transitioned over.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nordot is a content sharing platform that for publishers. It connects publishers through content sharing and channel sharing, distribution channel sharing. And we take care of the backend infrastructure part of things. So basically, publishers plug us in, and they can start sharing their stories, their channels, and we support the technology part of things. And why we do this is because we believe in the collective power of publishers. Mm-hmm. They should be on the same team, leveraging what they have, and the network, the entire network, peer-to-peer network, and just simply, share. If you don't have something, you can take from your partners, and vice versa. If you have something, you contribute. That is the healthiest ecosystem that avoids duplication, avoids 300 same headlines and within the 2 hours type of thing.
Yeah.
So what we aim to achieve is through sharing, we would like to optimize publishers' sort of operational cost side of things, and also bring sort of veracity because we're bundling publications together, more eyes, more monitoring, more facts, right? And then also raise additional revenues together instead of just by yourself. So how we see the future of media is through sharing. Sharing is a natural and logical response to today's media landscape. We believe everybody wants sustainability in this industry. Everybody wants healthier ecosystem, and for us, sharing is a way to make that happen.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I think the sharing piece, especially for publishers, kind of supporting them in an industry where I don't know if publishers really get the support that they probably should, because that's where all the ad inventory is.
Yep.
For 2020, you obviously had the strategy to continue with the content syndication and curation. Yep. How has the strategy kind of changed as this year has gone on?
Right. So the beginning of the year before pandemic, we sort of consciously made a decision that yes, we have the strongest ad model as our core business model, but even before pandemic, we said, okay, we want to be agnostic though to every type of revenue model that our publishers want to be operating in, which could be paywall, which could be subscription, micropayments, paper story. So we decided that we want to add those to our platform as additional model. So that was in place, and it still is. But what pandemic really sort of proved us is that, with pandemic protests and election and all kinds of information just going through, crucial information going through, it was sort of like reconfirmation that information must be accessible to all people in any given time, which paywall would prevent that from happening. So I guess to summarize, yes, we're going to explore different types of revenue models because publishers are adapting them. We are in the end content sharing platform, so we want to be compatible to every kind of model. But what we realized that yes, we are going to be taking strong stance in ad model because of the information, crucial information must be accessible to everybody. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Now so obviously as large as the platform is, you've got your individual publishers, but as the year has gone on and you guys have continued to grow, have you seen more success with, let's say, like individual publishers and supporting them, or larger partnerships like content management systems and that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, we're doing like both. Yeah, but then definitely individual publishers, yes. We are recruiting them, and very, very positive response to everybody, especially because of the COVID. Not every publication can keep up with their own reporting in this pandemic. So being able to share credible source of content was very valuable to the publishers, right? Especially local, hyper-local publications. So I think we were able to serve them at the right timing in a useful way.
Yeah. And being able to communicate with you all year has been enlightening. But on the publisher end, and I have a thought on this myself, but I'd love to hear from you. What do you think was the biggest incentive for some of the publishers that jumped on? I feel towards the end, it might have been like towards the end of this year was more traffic based, right? Because of how traffic had fluctuated for the year. But what do you think for the publishers were the biggest incentives to jump on board? What do you think was one of the leading reasons?
Oh, absolutely. The most value is being able to pull credible content with one click, right? I think that was because we deal with two sides of the market. provider side and distributor side, right? For
Yeah.
distributor side, being able to access the content that they aren't able to produce on their own, and within one click, they're able to place it on their site. And then that's monetizable because it's a rev share between provider and the republisher.
Right.
So that's the biggest incentive. And for provider side, I think it's more eyeballs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're running your media property, you're running your social, but where other audience is, it's on other publisher sites, right?
Yeah.
So Nordot is enabling their content to fly to multiple different relevant, like-minded content sites. So I think that's the biggest value from content provider side.
Very cool. Okay, a little different than what I was thinking. So that's cool to hear the perspective from the actual person doing it. So you mentioned 2021 and the stuff that you probably will strategize around next year. I'm curious to hear what you will, I think, bring from what you learned this year into 2021, and maybe some of the stuff that you and the team might leave.
Identify who is the right partner for you, and build a strong relationship with them, and have trust in that relationship, and sort of co-grow together. That's definitely the number one takeaway for me from 20 that I'm definitely taking to 21, which includes a relationship with diDNA. So the fact was, and that's sort of the same thing, saying leaving behind the mindset of trying to do everything on your own, right? Just focus on your expertise. Our expertise is content sharing, not ad operations. So focus on our content sharing piece that nobody else can do, and rely on, trusted partners for their expertise of things. That is something that I find extremely valuable, that we were able to sort of gain opportunity to in 20, and would like to continue to grow that in 21.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And would those be your big pieces of advice for, let's say, a publisher navigating the industry?
So navigating the industry, basically, yes, and on high level, right? Because it's just so complex, the ad industry, and the privacy policy and the data collection. It's just changing so fast, and it's for a team like us, like a company like us, small team. It's resources are limited. We can't really cover the whole thing, so we rather have external team of experts who we can trust that can guide us through. It's much more efficient and much more productive. And we realized that we thought, okay, small team, we can do this much for our ad op, but that was in a way we were doing much less than what we were actually capable of. By bringing a partner like you, we realized that, right? We were able to scale more in terms of ad op. We were able to bring the quality up and of each ad unit. We were capable of doing that, but it wouldn't be impossible without a partner. So advice to publishers is just what I just said. Partner up with the right partner. And it's true, it was, for us, it was a full deployment, which, it's not an overnight thing. It doesn't come like in a day, but everybody worked hard for, but it's paying off. So don't be afraid of, deployment change. No pain, no gain, right? So that's what we learned. It's extremely daunting, I think, for publishers, like to, start new initiative, partnership, because they're so busy every day trying to create the best content. But, if you look at this objectively, you need to sort of think in the long term and you want a robust solution for the long term,
Yeah.
not just to get by today.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I guess what we learned,
Yeah.
and I guess it would be that advice.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's great advice. And it almost kind of makes me think internally for leadership too. Like if a leader, you are a COO, you can't handle every task yourself. You do have to delegate. So
Delegate.
even for internal operations, what makes the most sense to delegate out? So my one question for you on that piece, as advice to publishers, it's to take a look internally. What can you outsource? My question to you is what do you think helped you determine, and taking diDNA out of the picture, just as a whole, what do you normally evaluate to figure out what's going to make the most sense for like a third party vendor?
Oh my God. Ad op is one huge piece that you should be outsourcing. Everything else, I don't know. I can't think of it really.
So it sounds like it's more cost versus value add for a publisher. So if a publisher was evaluating 3 different vendors for 3 different things, cost versus value, would you say that's probably like one of the biggest qualifying criteria, at least in this industry?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it's difficult to sort of evaluate when you just meet and you don't know them for a long time. So I just got references, right? And
really good point.
And just sort of determine, because if a third-party partner cannot give out references, something got to be wrong, right? But do they feel comfortable giving out contacts, and so we freely talk about you? I think that would be a good how to say judging point. I would say in the end it comes to like really people, I feel. Like, are they responsive? Not just at the beginning, right? You sort of get to see the whole picture by talking like over the course of a few times, right? Including reference contacts.
Yeah. I think that's solid advice for any publisher listening. That's really good. Okay. Well, so Aya, what do you think is the easiest way to get in contact with you and, of course, Nordot?
Yes. So my email, should I say right now? I hope the subtitle comes up.
We could just like throw it. Of course, whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah, sure. It's aya.uryu at Nordot, Nordot.io. That's my email. That would be the easiest for you to reach out to us. And also our company domain, Nordot.io, has contact us section, so can write to us from there as well.
Perfect. That sounds great. Well, everybody, I hope you've had a great Friday so far, and I hope you really enjoyed today's content. Please leave a like, and then any kind of questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. Aya, thanks for jumping on today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah.